Alright, global patch dropping tomorrow. Queen Hell, the first festival Ragnarok, probably of many because they just hate Seven Deadly Sins. A festival that about, I don't know, like 4 or 5 people care about. But is she good and worth summoning for? Well, in terms of actual unit quality, she is a festival. She is good. There's no doubt about it. The greatest thing about her really is what she has alongside her, because for the past year, maybe even 2 years, we've been getting an extreme amount of unknown buffs, namely Freyr and his Holy Relic, and of course Tyr, right? You're not going to be using her without Tyr. If you don't have Tyr and you still want to use Unknown, I cross your fingers that you pull him from the banner, because he is actually in the banner. Namely, there are some good characters in the banner. I think people were saying the banner sucked, but when you really look at it, there are way worse festival banners we've had. It's just people only think of the December anniversary, like the banners that you actually vote for. Whenever they themselves make the banners, I swear it's always so bad. But we've got some bad units, of course. But then you have Tyr, you have Green Freya. He isn't that great, but you have Freyr if you need more dupes. Scotty's very good. Red Tonar if you want dupes, stuff like that. If you really want to use unknowns, yeah, summon. I mean that's where it comes down to, because she's a good unit. Very annoying to fight against. It takes like some getting used to, because like the act of attacking becomes detrimental, right? Attacking the enemy becomes detrimental because you need to pay attention to the corrosion and stuff. It's an annoying thing she has going for her, and we're gonna get some getting used to. Now, is this something that I see lasting for a long time? This is a character that I see remaining meta for a while. Maybe. The thing is that Unknown is a category of characters that gets updated very frequently, opposed to, for example, humans or giants. Unknown seems to get the most updates of any category of characters as of recent. If you take a look at this catalog, majority of characters here are somewhat recent. If you take a look at humans, for example, majority of characters are old. Right? Majority of human characters, like, even though it's the biggest category, most characters in here are old. It's because unknowns have way more updates than humans do, right? And moving forward, I can see it continuing, because for some reason they just absolutely adore Ragnarok. I don't know, they just really do. And most Ragnarok characters are unknown, namely all the PvP Ragnarok characters are unknown. And collab characters generally are unknown. Some are human, some are unknown, but for the most part they are unknown. And that, tells me that more and more moving forward, unknown will be a updated category. But what about demons, right? Demons is also a category of characters that will be very likely updated again in the future. Because at the current moment, when you look at the demon team, it's hard to really wrap your head around, but the worst character and the sort of character pushing demons down is Purgatory Melee. Now, don't get me wrong, he's a good unit, but when you look at the team, right, Demon King is the main focal point. He is the strongest character on the team, and that's no doubt, right? Esteros' support, Chandler's support, like all the other characters that you use with them, like sure, they could be updated, but Purgatory Melee is gonna get replaced by a new Meliodas in December. It's pretty much like clockwork. Every year we get a new Meliodas in December for the end of year banner, and I highly doubt this year will be different, because it's usually their most profitable banner of the year. Meliodas is the most profitable character because he's the main character, so they save it for the biggest banner. The biggest banner, the biggest time to make money is December. So demons are gonna get a new update in December, but until then, I can see unknowns being the best team in the game for a while. They probably are right now the best team in the game, if I had to say. Demons, if you just care about getting Champ 1, which honestly, it's all of you pretty much. If you just care about getting Champ 1, you don't need the best team. You don't need Hell. You just don't. You don't need Tier, you don't need Hell. Demons will get Champ 1. If you know how to click cards, if you know how to click cards instead of just using auto, right? You can get Champ 1 with Demons. You have Demon King, right? Hell is unnecessary. But if you have aspirations of being top 100 for some reason, for some ungodly reason, yeah, Hell is necessary. Maybe. I don't know. Demons probably can still get top 100 though. So where does that leave? Where does that leave us in terms of the rest of the patch? So Hell, like I mentioned, if you want to summon because you want to play Unknown, go for it. But if you don't care for Unknown, then no. It's as simple as that. With this new patch, we also get some new Holy Relics. Namely, the more interesting one is Roxy. Now, I just mentioned that Unknowns are the best team, but humans with Roxy, if I hate that I can't just type her name up here because I play JP. Humans with Roxy are a tremendous team right now. Against Unknown, against Demons, just a tremendous team. So humans with Roxy, with this new Holy Relic, hit absolutely hard. The Holy Relic does is increases heroes' basic stats by 3% and crit damage by 30% for each human ally in battle. Also, she gets a shit ton of CC. And those buffs, that 90% crit damage is crazy. Plus PvE stuff as well for farming fast. Really, really strong. Roxy, Green Ascanor, and Bond is a ferocious team right now. I like using it with Arthur for a little bit more tankiness as well for the second turn. But crazy good team. If you want to run humans, I definitely recommend that. And also, Red Hair Liz got a relic which I recommend making. It's from deer material, so it's cheap. And in PvE, all allies get a 50% attack buff for 3 turns. It works in the back, so you can just use her in the back like Red Hair Liz. When you're farming the SA coins or Anvils, you're going to be using her in the back, right? And all the allies will get 50%. You just farm faster. It's just a nice thing to farm fast, pretty much. We'll go over other stuff from this update. New boss fight. I mean, I've done 5 for the first day and then do it again. It's very simple, very easy. Maybe I'll make a video explaining how the boss fight works. Essentially, one of them is immortal, one isn't. You kill the one that isn't immortal and you win. It's very simple, very easy. It's one of the most simplest bosses we've had as of recent. If you just have a team with competent DPS, I'm not even saying good, I'm saying competent, then you one turn the first phase and then one turn the second phase. It's not very hard. If you miss some Ragnarok cards, you can get some from here. Only Ragnarok cards though. Usually when we get an event like this, we can get any card that we don't have from past events. This one is only for Ragnarok cards, kind of cringe, but whatever. Speaking of cards, there's no card set. I'll just read off what it does. It doesn't... Card sets are hit or miss. In PvP, increases crit defense of all allies with God characteristic by 10%. And decreases their damage taken from enemies of other characteristics by 10%. When they say God characteristic, I'm pretty sure they mean this. No. Is it here? Yes, I'm pretty sure they mean this. So, Tyr, Freya, and Hel have the God characteristic. That does not mean they are goddesses, by the way. It's just because in the mythology they are gods, right? Hel, Freya, and Tyr are gods. So, but they're not goddesses. It's a little confusing, but they're not goddesses. They just have the god characteristic. Very specific. But I guess if you're running a team with Freya, Tyr, and Hel, it could be useful. It's just 10% crit defense though. So, and there was actually by 10%. I mean, it's alright, actually. It's alright. PvP, we have a season going on with Wailu as the reward, the SR, no new character, which means there's rules. There is a season rule that you cannot... So, prevents ultimate gauge from being filled by more than 3 orbs from unique abilities or passives. So that means that you can't use Fraudulent or Liz to get max ult gauge. I'm guessing because they saw a lot of free-to-play players were able to get top 100 by using those strategies, so they were like, no! No! And then for the first week, that's an interesting one actually. Heals HP by 3% of damage dealt for every debuff on the enemy when attacking them. It's pretty good for Bond teams and I guess Hell teams. And then the second week will be increases basic stats by 20% when all allies in battle have the same characteristic. Again, characteristic is not, you know, race or whatever or type is this section, the third section here. God, for example, is a characteristic. So if you're using Hell tier and Freya, you're gonna have insane stats. Or Seven Deadly Sins is a characteristic, so Seven Deadly Sins team. Archangel is a characteristic, so on. I guess Ragnarok itself is a characteristic, so you don't even have to use. You can just use someone else, but you know. And then I think that's it. All the rest is like bundles and stuff. I mean, if you are a paid player, I'll say there is a good bundle for the 3 of you. This one right here, does it show? Where is it? Bro. I guess it doesn't show anymore because I already bought it. Okay. Well, there is a good bundle. It's one that you get for 7 days. You get some good stuff. And the first day you get 1 multi on the banner. It doesn't show anymore for me because I already bought it and it's been 7 days. But if you are a paid player, I've said this every time. Whenever they bring up these tickets right here, I generally don't recommend them. They are cheap. Like 1600 yen is about like $10. And you get 1 multi and a half and 17 gems, or this is the biggest one, right? So if someone to price ratio is good, but this doesn't add up to pity, and it's just obviously playing gacha games is a gamble, right? But it's an even bigger gamble when you're summoning without pity. It's like play Dokkan, bro. Horrible, man. Horrible. You know? Okay. I believe all the rest is like visual changes. Now when you start up a match, you can see what grace the enemy is using like off the bat. This is a patch I begged for when Tarmail Link released years ago. And finally it's in the game. So if someone's using Tarmail Link, you see on top of their head as soon as the match starts. And all the rest of the changes are... Alright. Oh, there's... I'm just reading off the patch notes as in order pretty much. I don't know why they don't show this at the top, you know, because it's something that people really are more interested in, which is the login bonus. You get... How many gems is this? You get a decent amount. Yeah. 10 plus 5 each day. And then also on top of it, bro, from the missions, you get another 30 right here. And the free multi as well. Alright, I believe now that's done. So, that's about it.